Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily and I'm so glad that you're here with me today. Today's video is going to probably get a little bit more personal. Not that my last ones haven't been personal, because I've kind of been sharing everything that's gone on in my life regarding my Crohn's diagnosis, all my surgeries, and let's just say sometimes going through surgery and hospital stuff, you tend to lose privacy. And today I wanted to talk all about my journey to motherhood as I am battling Crohn's disease each and every day. So today I want to cover a couple of different things like birth control, our journey to starting our family, how Crohn's has impacted my cycles and being able to start the journey towards having kids and things like that. So let's start from the very beginning. Back in November of 2021, I decided to go off birth control. I had been on the little pill packets of birth control for about 2 years. I started them in November of 2019 because I was going to do Accutane for my skin and I needed to be on 2 forms of birth control. So I went on the pills and I was on them for about 2 years. My husband and I got married in October of 2020, and so it worked out. I was already on birth control. But it wasn't until after we got married that I started noticing some of the negative side effects of it. I was just always feeling really bloated. I didn't feel myself emotionally. I'm already an emotional person, but my emotions were heightened so much and it didn't feel like I was me. It felt like there was somebody else inside me and I really didn't like it. That's when I really started seeing my anxiety spike. I was really struggling in school to focus, and I just felt sick all the time. Now I will say I had no idea about my Crohn's diagnosis at the time, and so there are probably a lot of things that I was feeling that were related to my Crohn's disease rather than the actual birth control. But at the time I didn't know, and all I knew was that I wanted to get out and I needed to make a change. So I visited with my gynecologist and decided that it was time for me to stop birth control. So again, this was November of 2021, and it was January of 2022 that my husband and I decided that we wanted to start our family. We'd been married for 1.5 years and we both felt like it was good timing since I would be graduating from school in the next few months. My husband only had a few semesters left and things were going really well with him regarding work. We just felt like it was a good time to start our family, financially and just emotionally. For my whole life, I had always dreamed about becoming a mom. It was something I looked forward to for forever, and I could not wait for that day to come. So I was beyond excited. As soon as we had that conversation and decided that, I was going to the store, getting all the cute little baby onesies that I could use to tell my husband or my family. And honestly, I thought it was going to be smooth sailing from there. I bought some of the easy at home ovulation and pregnancy tests. They're just little strips because they were cheap, and it would be a good way for me to be able to track ovulation as we were hoping to start trying for our family soon. Then something happened that I did not expect at all. I did not get a cycle for 7 months. Because after I went off birth control in November, I had 1 normal cycle and then nothing. I was so devastated. I was just really sad that this had happened to me. I had heard of this happening to other people, but I thought surely I would be fine. We'd be able to start a family because that's how it's supposed to be. I always thought that I would go off birth control and we would get to start our family soon. Little did I know that wasn't going to be my story at all. But sometimes you just learn to roll with the punches. You just have to be grateful to be alive, and I'm grateful for my body. It's been through a lot, and hopefully someday I will get to have a little baby. So pretty much what happened was I wasn't getting my cycle, and I decided that I wanted to meet with a gynecologist to try and figure out what was going on. I knew it was normal for it to take up to like 3 to 6 months maybe for it to return, but it wasn't coming back. And then in April of 2021 is when I started feeling really awful inside. I was having really bad stomach cramping and pain, which led me going into the ER and getting my diagnosis eventually of Crohn's disease. You'll have to make sure you go watch those videos so you understand more of my story and where I'm coming from and how it all plays a role in this journey for me. So then I had my Crohn's diagnosis and was immediately put on prednisone, and as I was waiting for my medication to start, and I finally did have another cycle in the end of June. I was really excited, but I think it was mostly because the prednisone made it so the inflammation was going down in my intestines, and I know that inflammation plays a huge role in fertility and being able to ovulate and get pregnant, and so I attributed it to that. I was able to have a period because inflammation was down, and I was really hopeful that it would continue. However, I did not get another cycle until the middle of September. It was about exactly a month after my ileostomy bag surgery. And so I just thought maybe the surgery had kind of done a reboot on my system and made it so things were working again. I was really hopeful that it would keep returning, and it didn't, unfortunately. It wasn't until I got my reversal done in October, the end of October, and a month and a week or a month and 2 weeks later, I got another cycle. And again, I was very excited and grateful and hopeful that it would return. And now I'm just still in the area of waiting, hoping to see what's gonna happen. I'm hopeful that this year will be a good year for me. No matter what happens, I believe that everything will work out in the timing that it's supposed to. If anything from my Crohn's journey if there's anything that it's taught me, it's that things always work out when they're supposed to, even if that timing is not what I expected it to be or what I wanted it to be. Obviously, I didn't want any of this to happen. I wish I didn't have Crohn's disease, but the reality is that I do have Crohn's disease, and now I just have to learn to live with it. You know, I've heard a lot of scary stories about people with Crohn's going through pregnancy and miscarriage and struggling to get pregnant, and I don't know exactly what my fate will be yet. I guess the first step is figuring out how to regulate my cycles and get things back on track so that eventually, you know, we can have a family. It's something I've wanted for my whole life, and I don't think that's ever going to change. I am lucky to have our puppy. He's kind of filled that void in my heart and in my life for a while. I'm very grateful for him. He really is like a kid. But I just hope someday that, you know, I can have my own baby and we can start our family, because that truly sounds like the most wonderful and most exciting thing right now. I don't know what lies in store for me in the future. I guess it's just going to be a lot of waiting and scheduling with doctors and getting things figured out. I actually have a follow-up with my GI doctor tomorrow. It's a virtual visit, just to follow up and see how things are going with healing from my surgery. And I've got another colonoscopy in 2 months scheduled, just to, again, make sure everything's working, make sure my medication is working, and going forward from there, hopefully my body will be back on track. I will definitely keep you guys in the loop of what's happening. But I also I know that everyone goes through different things, but if any of you have had any similar experiences or have any tips or advice for me, please comment down below. I think it's so important to learn from one another, and everyone has such different experiences and different stories. And it's so great that we're able to have this community here on YouTube to be able to help one another and share experiences and ideas. And I've learned so much from you guys. The kind words that you guys have shared with me also, it just uplifts me and keeps me going. I've been able to hear so many of your stories that you guys have gone through, whether you have Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, IBS, literally anything. Or even if you don't have any stomach issues and you're just here supporting me, which means so much to me as well. I just appreciate you guys and I admire you, because learning from you guys has helped me so much. I hope that you guys are able to learn a lot from me, and that you just know that you're amazing, and whatever you're going through, you've got it. You are just wonderful. But I hope that if you haven't already, you'll subscribe so that you can stay along for my journey, as I'm hoping to become a mom soon. I know that I'm young and that I definitely have time on my side, but I still am so excited for the day when I can have my own little kid, my own little baby to call my own. It's something that my husband and I are really looking forward to, and no matter what happens with my health, with work, with school, with life, I am just grateful to be here and to get to document my life and post it here. I'm grateful that I have these videos to be able to look back on someday, because even though it's really hard right now and I don't have that little baby in my arms, I'm excited for the day when that does happen and I can look back and see all the growth that's occurred since this video, and just see everything that I've gone through. I don't know what's ahead for me, but I'm gonna keep my head up high, I'm gonna keep on going, and I'm just gonna keep living every single day.